A baseball season isn't about how you start, but how you finish. The reigning champs started slowly, falling 10.5 games behind the rival Mets in May. But the Braves turned it on in June with the help of a couple of rock star rookies. And during the season's final homestand, Atlanta demolished New York. Swung on, belted, right center field, back to back! Winning their 100th game of the season and sweeping the $300 million Mets right out of town. The magic number is now 1. One more series, one more win to put away the Mets, one more victory to clinch the NL East. The Braves go for 5 straight division titles next on Bally Sports. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Truist. We join you from Miami, Florida, where the Braves, fresh off a demolition of the New York Mets and a 3-game series sweep, need just one win to clinch their 5th consecutive Eastern title. All the Brave stars are in the lineup tonight, and hopefully they'll be as hot here in Miami as they were back in Atlanta. Hi again, everybody. Jeff Rancourt, Chip Carey, Kelly Kroll will be along in a moment. Jeff, baseball's a game filled with numbers. For Braves country, there's only one number that matters. 1. A Braves win. We win the East tonight.
I'll tell you what, when you went into that Mets series, you really thought about it. Man, you got to go all the way out to Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you go into last night, and to be able to come back and win that ball game, instead of the Mets going on the back home to control their own destiny, now the Braves are 1 away. And we can see right here the magic number 1. The Braves lead by 2 games, but have to 10-9 head up on the Mets, so that's important. And, of course, you get that 2 seed, which gets you the 5 days off and gets rested. It's really a great situation for this Atlanta team. And you know what? They should feel good because they got Bryce Elder going tonight. This guy is coming off his best start of his career, of course, with the complete game in Washington. But look what he's done against the Marlins. 3 starts, 17 2/3 innings pitched to 1.53. And for him, attack the zone tonight with that 2-seamer. Let your defense go to work. And you know what? Pop some champagne.
Yeah, get some early runs, too, as the Braves and Marlins meet in Game 1 of this 3-game series down at Lone Depot Park. And when we come back, Kelly Kroll will talk about an exciting weekend and hopefully an exciting night here on Bally Sports as the Braves and Marlins meet yet again tonight here in the 305. Swing, drive, center field deep. 1 pitch, 1-0.
My last play was your new play.
Swing and a drive, hammered down the line. Mighty Mike hits the facade of the second deck.
Now we celebrate champagne.
Dansby to his left, 360 spin. What a play by Swanson. 12 hit left center field, and that one's not coming down. That's hammered right center field. That ball is gone.
My last play was your new play.
Right down Peachtree. Streak across the third. He's in center. He's got the jump.
Now we celebrate champagne. Toast up, we gon' need some more champagne. Toast up,
There is Tags. He's coming. He's flying to the plate. The throw is late. Great speed by Harris. On Grissom. He got there. Swing and a drive. Darno bombs away for the Braves. Another homer. Swing drive. Belted first pitch. You called it, Jeff. 1-0.
never like the second guess. If I think it, I'ma just do it. It ain't nothing less.
With their magic number down to 1, the Braves will look to continue their dominance over the Marlins this season, try to secure a 5th straight division title. Snitz Club 12-4 take a look against the Fish this year, scoring over 4 runs a game, a total of 27 homers in those 16 matchups so far. The pitching has shined, 2.77 ERA and a plus 28 run differential. It is no secret the Braves have enjoyed plenty of success against the Marlins this season, and if that trend continues here tonight or over the next couple of days, the victory will be even sweeter. And in chatting with a few of the guys in the clubhouse this afternoon, You get the sense they're a very relaxed bunch, but also intently focused. They want to get this done here tonight. You don't let things get interesting over the next couple of days. Of course, a very emotional weekend where they swept the Mets, picked up win number 100 of the season. And for Brian Snitker, that's another personal accomplishment for a team that he has managed, and it will be a very special part to this season.
It's huge. I was walking up with Kinley and last night, saying, man, I've never been a part of it, coach, ever been on a team, or anything like that, of a 100-win team. That's pretty special. I mean, that's not something that happens all the time. So I'm real proud of the guys, how they've accomplished that.
The last three, sweeping the Mets. When you now look back, your biggest takeaway?
Wow, just biggest takeaway is how I felt going into it. I mean, because I said I felt like it was a playoff. The playoffs started to me Friday, and then you just never know what to expect. When you go into facing the rotation that we were going through, and just how our guys stepped up.
Felt like playoffs, and tonight a chance to clinch. And I am seeing Braves fans fill up Lone Depot Park right now with a chance to get to see their team do that here tonight. It'll be Bryce Elder heading to the mound in the series opener as the Braves' magic number is down to 1. We will have Atlanta and Miami coming your way here on Valley Sports next.
Ball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It is a beautiful night in Miami for the Braves and the Marlins. As we mentioned, the magic number for Ronald Acuna Jr. and company is 1. If the Braves win tonight or the Mets lose, Atlanta will once again be champions of the National League's Eastern Division. As you'd expect with so much on the line, the Braves have their A-plus Toyota starting lineup tonight. Brian Snitker wants to go for the jugular, Jeff, tonight. Get this thing over with, get a couple of days of rest, and then get ready for a first-round postseason matchup.
Sounds like a plan to me.
But a tough opponent. Jesus Luzardo, a left-hander, is on the hill for the Marlins. This guy throws hard. We've seen him a lot.
Yeah, funny enough, he pitched against the Mets last week and did a pretty darn good job. 6 innings of 4 hits and only gave up a 2-run homer to Eduardo Escobar. But good, hard fastball, likes to come in. Good off speed.
An emotional series with the Mets. Atlanta swept them. Now you're facing a second division club. Do you worry about a letdown on your Ford Keys tonight?
Not when you know you have one game to clinch this thing. The guys are coming here with a mission. So for Bryce Elder, pound that zone. You've done great against the Marlins in 3 starts. And like I said, finish it. Win the division. You had a great weekend.
Jesus Luzardo with a quick pitch, and we are underway. That is outside for Acuna. 1 ball, no strikes.
That might be the first time I've ever seen a quick pitch for the first pitch of the game.
Luzardo 3-7 on the year. The Marlins are 3-14 when he starts. That's hard to believe. So hopefully that trend is favorable for the Braves here in Game 1 tonight. Ronald way ahead in the count. And on the ground into the shift, and it's kicked. And a great start for Atlanta. Acuna's aboard on an error at shortstop. Miguel Rojas couldn't handle that hot shot. And Ronald gets on here in the first.
That dirt does look kind of slick out there right here. Watch Rojas. I think his right foot kind of slips out, Chip, a little bit from under him. That left foot kind of slides, and then ball was hit hard, though.
That's his first error in 67 games. So that's a good omen for the Braves. Already the first break goes our way, and here's Dansby. You talk about coming up clutch in a big series. What this guy did against the Mets will forever be etched in Braves lore.
Yeah, him and Matt Olson both. Unbelievable series.
And Jeff, it's not just the homers, it's when he hit them and against whom he hit them. 2 strikes, 2 outs. I mean, just big momentum swinging plays.
Against the best in the leagues. That's a big difference. I always say, you know, some guys can hit 3, 4s, and 5s. Show me the guys that can hit the 1s and 2s. Those are the special players.
So a special year for Swanson, a franchise record 96 RBIs out of the shortstop spot. Dansby up to 25 homers on the year. And Luzardo pulled a string. It's an even count.
That's his best pitch right there, that changeup. He's got a really good changeup off that fastball. He's a guy, like you said, you look at the win-loss chip, 3-7, but he's got a 3.53 ERA, so he's hasn't got much run support.
Ronald's running, got a good jump. This pitch popped up behind first. Lewin Diaz in foul ground, still tracking, and can't handle it. That ball is foul. It's a foul ball. So 2 defensive miscues by the Marlins in the early going. This one a break, a free swing for Swanson.
Yeah, it tipped his glove, but he was in foul territory. Good call by Jordan Baker, the first base umpire.
That turns into a break.
Yeah,
because gotten the force.
100%. Ronald was stuck in no man's land. He was going, then he had to come back. He's playing the big shift still for Dansby. See here if he can try to work it to the right side.
Broke his bat and lines one into left field. Another 2-strike hit for Dansby Swanson, and the Braves are coming out like a house on fire. 2 on, nobody out.
Got the changeup, but he stayed back enough to, even though he broke his back, got it off the end. Went down and got it and combed it to left field. That's something you'd love to see too. Just some early runs like that facing a team right now ready for the end of the season.
So a great threat for the Braves. 2 on, nobody out. Michael Harris is coming up. In a season filled with so many great memories, this young man provided one of them in the 9th inning the last time we were in town here.
Yeah, it went right off the Auto Nation alley there in left field, where your sculptures used to be that you love so much. 99 off Tanner Scott to tie the game up at 1 in the 9th. If I remember right, that completed the sweep too, right? That 4-game sweep down here in Miami.
Well, there have been so many against the Marlins that it's hard to keep track of, and that's not meant as an insult, but the numbers are what they are. The Braves have beaten these guys 8 straight games and have won 12 of the first 16 head-to-head as Michael chased one down and away. And he is out number 1. A swing and a miss has the first strikeout for Luzardo.
Now, when you get behind Luzardo like that, that's a tough AB.
Well, here's another Brave that had a big series against the Mets, Austin Riley. 38 homers, 93 runs batted in. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 6 of Austin's home runs have come against Miami this year. 6 home runs, 8 RBIs. Chance to put a 3 spot up as Luzardo works very quickly. Blade, De La Cruz, and Avisail Garcia, the Marlins outfielders, left to right. Acuna leads at second, Dansby at first with 1 man out.
You know, he got the call, but there's nothing you could do on that pitch. I mean, that's probably a good chance to pop up in the infield.
He went, and Riley is retired. That's the second out. Scoreboard had the count 2-1. He clearly went, and it's back-to-back strikeouts, and Matt Olson, your hitter. So again, the off-speed effective for Luzardo here in the opening inning. I think it's safe to say Matt Olson's back.
If you remember last time Luzardo pitched down here, Olson got him. Went deep off his former teammate.
Two on, two outs. He's painting right now. It's 0-2.
You see the velocity. He's got a big arm.
Fortes, the catcher, with a nice stop that saved a couple of bases. And Olsen now with a 1-2 count. 101 RBIs for Matt. He's riding a 7-game hitting streak tonight.
And it's not to be. A swing and a miss. Error, single, and then 3 straight strikeouts. So the Braves are held down in the first inning. Bryce Elder goes to work in Miami next.
Well, Bryce Elder is the man in the center of the diamond for the Braves tonight. Could be a part of Atlanta history. If he can win this game, he'll propel the Braves to a division championship, Jeff, and he can't do any better than he did last time out.
First complete game for a Brave this year, and he pounded the zone all night. Really only that 6th inning where he got in trouble and he got the big double play ball and then cruised the last 3 innings. And last 2 times down here, he has pitched outstanding.
A super September for Bryce. He gave up 1 earned run in 20 2/3 innings. With a young player, though, you always wonder, is this moment big for him? Does he need to change anything, knowing what's at stake for his team behind him?
You know, talking to him, I don't think he's that type of guy. I don't think he's pretty even-keeled. You can see he's going to rely heavy on that sinker-slider combo.
What we noticed against the Nationals, his catcher was planted right behind the plate and the ball was cutting and darting everywhere.
Said again, sit in the middle and let that ball do what it's going to do.
John Birdie fouls his sinker. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Want to keep this guy under control. He's the major league leader in stolen bases. That's a big part of the Marlins game. They have to create offense with havoc on the base paths. Birdie hitting .233 on the year.
That was the pitch right there late in that game versus the Nats that he had coming right back over the edge of the plate. Just missed off the plate on that one.
Full count. Birdie, Wendell, and Brian De La Cruz are coming up for the Marlins. And on the ground, that's going to sneak through for a leadoff hit. So both clubs put their first batter aboard in the first inning. And Birdie has the first Miami hit. Here's the rest of the lineup for Don Mattingly. It's presented by Toyota. Joey Wendell hitting second. Brian De La Cruz. Avisail Garcia, their cleanup man. A lot of young players for Don Mattingly's 67 and 92 Marlins. So we'll see what Mattingly does with Birdie. As Joey Wendell a tough out, hitting .263 on the year. Big lead for Birdie at first. 1 ball, no strikes. Be a fun matchup if Birdie tries to take off. Elder gets the ball to the plate in pretty good form, and Contreras with that strong arm behind the plate. Birdie looking for his 40th stolen base. And he has a little housekeeping work to do in the base paths. Good lead. He's going. Pitch a strike. Throw to second is not. It hits Birdie and ricochets into shallow left. And the Marlins have a runner at third with nobody out. So it is stolen base number 40. Birdie gets to third on the throwing error. And Miami has the first threat of the game.
Got a good jump, but this wasn't a bad throw if it was tailing. But if Dansby was able to catch it, you can see just too far over for him to get. Right off Birdie's leg.
So Wendell now a 1-ball-1-strike count. And a little tapper back to the mound. Look the runner back. And the flip to first for out number 1. So that heavy sinker gets a easy tapper back to the hill. And Brian De La Cruz, your hitter. The Braves infield will come in for the Marlins center fielder.
I like this. You got one out. You got a sinker ball type pitcher right here. You're hoping for something to Riley or Dansby here to the left side on a ground ball.
And De La Cruz is a strikeout candidate too. 87 of them in 317 at bats. Almost hit him. Even count. Twelve homers, 40 RBIs for De La Cruz. He's a .243 hitter on the season. Now Elder a strike away from his second out.
Final series has the Marlins manager for Don Mattingly. He and the Fish will part ways at season's end. The pitch is yanked foul and out of play.
Okay, he's got him set up now that if he wants to throw that slider off the plate, I think he's got a chance for a swing and miss.
Line drive into right center field. It's 1-0 Miami. Harris cuts it off. De La Cruz on his way to second. The throw off target. And the Marlins with a couple of first inning hits. Strike first.
He had the right idea, just not, he didn't get it far enough out. Pretty good piece of hitting by De La Cruz there just to throw it out there to right field. You can tell the power he's got. Strong guy.
So his 41st RBI, and that'll bring up Avisail Garcia. Well, the jobs for the Marlins this past offseason was improve their offense. They thought bringing in Garcia and former Brave Jorge Soler would do the trick. It hasn't. Disappointing seasons for both of those Marlins sluggers.
That's the thing. I mean, they got 2-3 guys, Chip, that they thought were going to deliver a lot of power for him this year. And it just hasn't worked out. And when you have a team that is already kind of, you know, scuffling to score runs, that doesn't help.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to stay in the lineup. Garcia's played 8 games in August and September. This one slowly hit. Arcia can't make the play. Everybody's safe. First and third with one out.
Well, that's one, Arcia. I know that he had to kind of come a long ways, but he had time to stop and let this ball get to him. Garcia wasn't even halfway down there. You can see he tried to hurry it. He didn't really have to.
So soft contact, but Garcia is able to reach. De La Cruz moves to third. They're at the corners, one out. And Jesus Sanchez, the designated hitter, will stand in. Two errors in the inning for the Braves.
Yeah.
Well, get that turbo sinker working, get a double play, and get your offense back to work. Miami has a 1-0 lead. It's got to be tough, too, coming down to Lone Depot Park. Back at Truist, we had 42,000 screaming Braves fans. Here in Miami,
A little quieter.
might have 9,000-10,000 here tonight. Most of them are Braves fans. This one down the line, that's fair. It's 2-0. Streaking around second is De La Cruz, and Garcia, he will stop at third. Sanchez with a double. Marlins lead by 2. This hasn't started the way we hoped.
Yeah, that's location there. You can see they were trying to go up and in, and that ball came right back over the heart of the plate. And with an 0-2 pitch, you can't miss there. If you're going to miss, you miss up, you miss way in off the plate.
Well, stop the bleeding here. You're down 2. Nick Fortes, the catcher. He's 2 for 5 against Bryce Elder, 8 homers for his season. The pitch. Three hits, 2 errors, 2 runs so far for the Marlins here in the bottom of the first. That's more like it.
I could use a strikeout here. You got him set up 1-2.
And that might set up the outside corner. As Fortes jackknifed out of the way of that pitch. It's 2-2. Popped him up. Will it stay in play? Riley gives chase. Contreras is over, and the Braves catcher makes the play in front of the Marlins dugout. There's a big second out.
Yeah, that was nice. Stayed right in play for him, got over there, made the play. Now you get this out right here and then get that offense back out.
J.J. Bleday is your hitter. He's batting 164. This kid was a 20-homer man at AAA. Going's been a little tougher here in the show in his Marlins debut. And one would think he and Bryce Elder locked horns a couple of times in the minor leagues this season. We'll see how this matchup works out in a 2-run Miami first. So he's a strike away from getting us out of the first. will pop. And Dansby says he's got it, and he does. And that will retire the side. Marlins strike for 2 in the opening inning. It's 2-0 Marlins. Two-0 lead, but this dynamic duo leading off for the Braves is our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Yeah, the 35 home run by catchers is the most in all of baseball. Next closest team, 27, the Cubs and Phils. Miami catchers this season, comparison chip, only 12 home runs, and the Mets, 6.
Well, Atlanta had a chance in the first inning, 2 on, nobody out, but Luzardo pitched out of opening inning trouble. Let's see what the Braves do to him here the second time around. That's a fastball for a strike. Travis d'Arnaud had a huge hit yesterday, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Probably the bat of the game. He was down, what, 0-2, 1-2, fouled a couple off, took one, and then got that curveball and stayed on it beautifully and lined it right back up the middle to give the Braves the lead.
What is it about this team with 2 strikes? It's just been uncanny the last 6 weeks.
They grind them out.
Not this time, though. 4 straight Braves have swung and missed. That's how the second inning starts against Mr. Luzardo.
And look, this is his last start of the season. This is a playoff game for him. He'd like nothing better than to delay a Braves celebration. He's got 1 out here in the second inning. Here's Contreras. William with 20 homers and a .276 average.
There's a curveball that he broke out on Contreras.
One thing we've seen too from the Braves, sometimes the first time through the order it's a struggle, and then second time through they make an adjustment. See if that holds true here in game 1.
Well, I think facing him, you got to look out over the plate to drive up the middle. He's going to come in with that fastball, but to me, it's more for show. He tries to throw it in on you, get you to swing, or for a ball. When he's trying to get you out, it's that fastball away.
Well, that's been the problem for him against the Braves. A lot of walks.
Yep.
11 of them against the Braves this year. And he's in danger of walking Contreras here with a 3-1 count.
That ball's driven down the line. Good approach, but a little sky foul.
It's 3-2.
You can see Contreras asking home plate umpire, and that's what it kind of does. That little, he lets that ball go, and it's got a little run on it. That's what he struck d'Arnaud out on.
Another swing and a miss. 5 straight swinging strikeouts. 2 men down. Orlando Arcia, the final hope in the second inning. Arcia at .247. Limited duty against the Marlins this year, just 5 at-bats. For the Braves' second sacker. He's 0 for 2 in his career against Luzardo.
See, to me now, this is where when he falls behind, he's a guy that mostly 2-0, 3-1. He comes with that fastball. So right here, get yourself ready. Drop the changeup on him.
Now it's 2-2. There's no wasting time for Luzardo, is there? He gets the ball and goes.
He does. He works quick.
right back to work.
Fly ball well hit center. But De La Cruz will have room deepest part of the ballpark. And that will retire the Braves in order in the top of the second inning.
Trailing 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Bryce Elder back on the bump. And speaking with Rick Kranitz this afternoon, just asking about some of the challenges Elder might have tonight facing the Marlins for a fourth time this season. He said, listen, it's a lot of the same when you're a sinker baller. It's going to come down to his command, getting ahead in counts. But, guys, he specifically said as good as that complete game was against Washington, the slider wasn't his sharpest. And against this lineup, he said he's going to need it. Sorry, that one went foul. Okay, so we're going to keep going. He's going to need it here against this. And I've checked that first frame. 4 sliders, but 3 of them came against the last batter he faced. So I think he's trying to incorporate that a little more here early on. At least that's what Kranitz would love to see from him.
Yeah, I agree, Kelly. And at the first inning, you could see that sinker wasn't quite hitting that outside corner on the righty. Something that he did. Not that he's not going to be able to find that, but I think it's good for him to have another pitch to keep these righties honest, too.
Miguel Rojas is the leadoff man in the second for the Fish. Rojas having a .237 season at the plate. Rolled foul. It's still 0-2. If the Braves win, the Eastern race is decided. If the Mets lose, it's decided. But we can't count on the Mets doing that tonight. Their game with the Nationals rained out.
Mother Nature took over. I just looked at the radar between innings, and it's not pretty up there.
Looks like the remnants of Ian.
Yeah, could be.
On the ground, Riley. There's that sinker. And an easy play for the first out.
Rojas retired. Lewin Diaz, the first baseman's coming up.
But that was perfect. At Kelly's point, talking to Cranny, those 2 pitches before were sliders. And all of a sudden, then you throw that sinker, and what happens? You're late on it. You recognize it. So,
well, that's the beauty. You give up a couple in the first, you've got 7 innings or 8 innings to make it up, right? And he's retired 3 in a row after the last run-scoring hit for the Marlins. Here's Diaz, and he takes a strike. Well, between Diaz, Sanchez, and De La Cruz, if the Miami Heat need power forwards, they've got them covered, don't they?
He's a big guy.
All tall, big league hitters. And they have gotten long, extended looks offensively for the Marlins here in the second half with mixed bag results. Diaz hitting .178.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing going into this offseason for them. All of a sudden, it's the consistency of the at-bats for these guys haven't been there. What do you do? I mean, they're in a tough spot right now, and I think that's why Don Mattingly right there is just, you know what, it's time for me to go, and he's a good baseball man. He'll land somewhere. Been here, what, 7 years now?
Long time.
8 years, maybe? He was my manager here in 16.
That's right. You are a former Marlin great.
Yeah, you didn't see the video tribute tonight before the game?
I missed the statue, too.
You did?
Pulled in the stadium.
My statue's by the,
the sculpture?
Sculpture outside.
Well, that would be 2 pieces of artwork here in South Florida as that's out of play foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That backed up. That's more like it. That's what Elder did all day long against the Nationals.
That's what he was trying to do to Sanchez on that 0-2 pitch. Look at that. Came right back over to just the inside part of the plate.
Well, that kind of movement frame job, Manny Gonzalez is going to call that every time.
And it said an awful lot with sinker ball guys. Sometimes it takes them 20, 25 pitches for that action to really get going.
Derek Lowe was a living proof. He was here in Atlanta for 4 years. First inning was tough for him sometimes, trying to find the release point where it goes. And then once he got going, usually got better as the game went on. And I think it's kind of what we saw, even though Elder got off to a good start in Washington, towards the end of the game, he was unhittable.
He's starting to fill up the strike zone. John Birdie singled, stole a base, his 40th, and scored the first run tonight. Just missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Roof closed tonight. Panels closed tonight. Another warm South Florida evening for the Braves and Fighting Fish. And Elder about to make his 45th pitch.
And that was the slider. Let's see if that sets up that sinker in to try to get him to roll over.
Full count. Joey Wendell is on deck. We'd like to see him lead off the 3rd inning. Bases empty, 2 outs, 2-0 Miami.
And a swing and a miss. Couple of strikeouts for Bryce Elder. We head to the 3rd inning. There's the home run sculpture. If you look closely, you won't see the Frank Coor statue here in Miami. Sports is brought to you by Truist. With Marlins great Jeff Francoeur, Kelly Cole, Chip Terry with you at Lone Depot Park. Time for the Braves bats to get going now. We'll start the second trip through the order. First, Robbie Grossman, the 9th place hitter, then Acuna and Dansby Swanson. Marlins lead 2-0, 2 runs, 3 hits, couple of errors for the Braves in the opening frame. Atlanta has 1 hit. That was from Dansby in his first trip up.
Robbie Grossman had a nice run with the Braves. 7 homers, 45 RBIs overall this year, a .207 average. And had a home run cut, didn't get that. It's an even count. Line into left field. That's down for a leadoff hit. He's something else.
Yeah, that's a good start. Look, he was having a great year from that side of the plate, and that's why Alex Anthopoulos brought him over at the deadline. And then really found his swing from the other side of the plate, too. And as you said, Chip, has done a great job.
That snaps an 0 for 10 for Grossman, who didn't get an at-bat in that series against the Mets. And so Ronald is up with a chance to tie the game. Jeff, he's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Well, we all know he loves playing here. 8 home runs, 7 doubles in the last 25 games here at Miami. In his career versus Miami, Chip, 323, 22 home runs in only 69 games.
He reached on an error by the shortstop Rojas in the opening inning. And that's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves have done a good job all year long against left-handed pitching this year. They've really demolished southpaws. Hope that trend continues here in Game 1 tonight. That shaved off the corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes. They give Ronald the entire right side of the infield if he can shoot one that way. He's done that a lot in the second half. See what he does with a 2-strike count. Swing and a miss. He expanded his strike zone, and Luzardo has struck out 6 Atlanta hitters.
When you get behind, it sometimes can be his put-away pitch off that fastball, that changeup going low and away.
So 1 on, 1 out. Dansby Swanson broke his bat and golfed one into left field. Little lob wedge for the Brave shortstop, who takes a strike. Luzardo checks the runner at first, Grossman. And now the native of Lima, Peru, glares in for another sign for Dansby Swanson. Nice stop. Ortez saved the base, 2-2.
This guy's all around the plate, but he has
certainly shown, Jeff, an ability to get you to expand your zone.
I mean, it's because he's got 3 pretty darn good pitches. I thought they like this guy, and I think he's got good stuff.
line to short. Short hop, flip to second for 1. And the peg to first is in time for an inning-ending double play. No runs, a hit, nobody left. 2-0 Miami. The Marlins lead game 1 by a 2-0 score. Jeff, it's also time for our Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player feature. Bryce Elder's been a nice addition to this rotation for Atlanta, and hopefully with this retiring 5 in a row, he's back on the right track.
Yeah, and he's holding right-handed hitters to a 153 average in his last 4 starts, 9 for 59, and credit that sinker for doing a lot of the work.
Wendell got one up in the zone, fouled that back, strike 1. He tapped one back to the mound in the opening inning. So Joey is 0 for 1. That's driven down the left field line, but curling foul. And Elder, Jeff, doing a much better job of getting ahead. It's 0-2. Wendell a throwback, no batting gloves. Right on top of the plate. And he pokes this one up the middle, and a 2-strike knock. So Miami has the leadoff man on for the second time in 3 innings. That one on an 0-2 pitch, and Brian De La Cruz, your hitter.
It's not a bad pitch. Pretty good piece of hitting by Joey Wendell. It's like anything, too. This turf here and infield's quick, so you get anything scooting through the hole, they can get through.
Got to keep an eye on Wendell. He's stolen 12 bases. De La Cruz doubled home a run and scored the second Miami tally in the opening inning. That one hammered down the line, curling near the pole. That ball is foul. Man, these guys are getting extension, aren't they? That one hooked at the pole at the last moment. Strike 1.
Caught a break on that one.
De La Cruz helped us out. His last home run came against the Mets. See if he can hit a ground ball at somebody and get a double play. Toward the corner again. This one curling near the line. That one foul. Man, so he's just missed a couple of extra base hits. And he's behind in the count 0-2. And they're going out and getting that ball in the outer half. Wendell did it. De La Cruz is doing it here. So how do you get him off that part of the plate?
Pretty simple to me. You run that two-seamer in.
Exactly what he tried to do, but it missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fly ball well hit center. Harris on the run. Warning track. Wall. Leaping try. Can't get it. It's a 2-run homer. Michael gave it a valiant try at the fence, but De La Cruz has hit his 13th homer, and the Marlins now with a 4-run lead.
Look at this, Michael. He jumped a little too soon. Oh. And that was a two-seamer that came way too far back over the heart of the plate.
So we've got our work cut out for us tonight. Marlins 4, Braves nothing. Nobody out here in the 3rd inning. And Avisail Garcia is the hitter. Garcia reached on an Orlando Arcia error back in the 1st inning. Marlins have made Bryce Elder work. 5 or more pitches have been seen by half of the 12 hitters in the game so far. And Atlanta has not set its pitching rotation for the rest of this series. That was predicated on what happened tonight. Mets and Nationals rained out tonight. Braves have to come way back tonight to take care of their own business and win the division here in game 1. 3 balls and a strike. There's a good pitch under his hands. 3rd strikeout. They've all come since the start of the 2nd inning.
Garcia checks to see if that would have been called a strike. I think the answer was yes.
That's the kind of pitch you wanted. That's the one to Sanchez. I know they were trying to go away. Or sorry, to De La Cruz, if you could have got it in on his hands.
So Jesus Sanchez, the DH, he's got a double and an RBI. 34 of them now for the Marlins DH. A bullet hit toward the right field corner. Acuna plays that off the fence, plays it well. Here comes his throw. It is off target. And Jesus Sanchez has his second double in as many trips to the plate.
That just kind of pitch hung middle. Last time he ran that two-seamer in on Sanchez and he kind of filleted it down the left field line. This time he got extended on an off-speed pitch.
So the Braves meet on the mound here. Down 4. Nick Fortes, the catcher, popped out his first and only time up. As the Braves talk it over, let's enjoy a quick word from our friends at Delta. Nick Fortes almost got hit. This one's been a struggle for Bryce Elder.
You hadn't had the control that we saw in DC and even the other two times.
On the ground, Riley gets a big hop. And a quick runner for a catcher, and they got him by an eyelash for the second out. Good play by Riley to get the big hop, and then his strong arm made up for that extra step earned by Fortes.
We always talk, Austin knows the speed of these hitters, knows exactly. If that's another guy, he probably comes charging in on that ball.
So runner at second, 2 outs for J.J. Bleday. He popped out and ended the Marlins' first. 2 in the opening inning, 2 here in the Florida third. To center. First pitch. Harris as far as he can go and has room, and that retires the side. Bleday gave it a ride, and that sends us to the 4th, where the Marlins lead game 1.
In the 4th, Michael Harris leading things off. Your National League Rookie of the Month in September, his 3rd such honor this season. And when asked this afternoon, would this team be where they are without Michael Harris, Kyle Wright said, in short, no chance. What he's done at the plate, what he's done in the field, it's just incredible. And at his age, he goes, and he's a great clubhouse guy. But I thought it was interesting. Michael Harris with a grin goes, hey, I love the accolades, but it's a lot better when your team is winning, and that means you're contributing and getting those awards. So I thought that was pretty mature of him to say.
Yeah, it's a great point.
When what he really probably could have said is, when I came up, we got hot and we won 100 games.
Exactly.
Well, to Kelly's point about his September, 12 extra base hits, 19 RBIs, 20 runs scored, Gold Glove caliber defense, and he hit .324.
And here's a good start. He's ahead, 3 balls, no strikes. Put some pressure on this guy.
I was going to say, you get a couple here. Look, the Braves have had success against this Marlins pen this year, so you get a couple here and you fight back.
Made him throw a strike. 3-1 your count. Right, guys are up 3-4-5 in the fourth inning for Atlanta. And there we go. Leadoff walk. So Harris aboard. And here's Austin Riley. I think that's an excellent point, Jeff. This team has shown an amazing ability to make adjustments second time through the order. And look, they trailed in most of the games against the Mets and came back.
Yeah, that's what 3-1 last night. They were able to put some pressure on, so far from over.
Riley struck out his first time up. Again, they give Austin the whole right side of the infield if he wants to take advantage of that. You've got Matt Olson waiting on deck. '93 RBIs for Riley, 2 home runs away from 40. Paints a corner. Pitcher's pitch. Only one Brave has reached 40 homers and 40 doubles. That was Chipper Jones in 1999. And strike 3 right down Peachtree. Riley looking for something inside. Got one down the heart of the plate and strikes out for the second time. Time for our landmark player comparison. We told you Dansby and Matt Olson carried the Atlanta offense against New York.
And at 9 combined RBIs, Mets had 7 total runs scored. Olson's got 7 homers and 19 RBIs versus the Mets this season.
Let's see if Matt can hit one the other way. He's got the whole left field line to play with. That one scatters everybody on the far side of the Braves dugout. 0-1 the count. Luzardo is not pitching like a man with a 3-7 record tonight.
Look, in the ERA is not bad for him. He just hasn't got any support. And you can see he's a little bit effectively wild. I mean, think about it. He threw nowhere close to Michael Harris. Then all of a sudden, Riley gets up there in a 1-1 count. Paint 96 away, paint 97 in. It's tough.
He scattered a couple of hits. And he chases Michael back to the first base bag here in the fourth inning.
Last time he threw 2 breaking balls away to Matt Olson, the same scenario, and then came with that sinker in at 98.
Again to first. Matt's the club leader in bases on balls. Let's see how patient he can be. Lefty versus lefty with Travis d'Arnaud waiting on deck. And a sweeping breaking ball erases Matt Olson. 2 outs. So after a promising start, Luzardo has struck out the last 2 hitters. Now he faces Travis d'Arnaud, who's 0 for 1. Good job by Travis to step out on this guy. He's working at a very quick pace. See if we can get him out of rhythm here. Atlanta had 2 on, nobody out in the first inning. Couldn't push across a run. They've gotten 2 men on leading off the 3rd and 4th. No advance yet. As d'Arnaud tried to ambush him and didn't get it. Strike 1.
Could have been a strike if that ball was received better. That bottom part of the zone.
Short lead, the pitch. Ooh. That was close. 2 balls and a strike. And Luzardo making his final start of the year tonight. Trying to leave with a positive impression. He's been tough to pick up. Runner goes. Pitch fought off foul. As Jeff mentioned, Luzardo's last outing came against the Mets. 2 runs in 6 innings. He threw 95 pitches in that one. Because he has 8 strikeouts, his pitch count is a little high. But he leads by a 4-0 score.
Well, the good news is in that game, if you remember, against the Mets, we were watching it in D.C. The Marlins went up 4-0. The Mets ended up coming back to walk them off at 5-4.
We'll take a similar result here.
Yep.
2-2. On the ground, left side. And the peg to first is a sinker, but
handled by Lewin Diaz, and the Braves are done in the 4th inning. 4-0 Marlins in game 1.
Is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente and by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have a yellow tag, you don't want it.
Time for the home 4th inning where the Marlins lead the Braves 4-0. And Fans the Braves Foundation will be supporting those affected by Hurricanes Ian and Fiona by directing all donations made now through October 5th to Team Rubicon's relief efforts. Go to braves.com/give to learn more and to donate today. Bryce Elder will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Marlins, who scored 2 in the 1st and 2 in the 3rd. Hold them right there, Bryce. Hope your offense can come back.
That's the plan.
Rojas rolled out to 3rd his first time up. And he's down the strike. It's 0-1. And Rojas, with an error in the 1st inning of this game, snapped a 66-game streak between errors. That's a team record. And that one shot into left field. Roddy Grossman comes on. Got a good read and makes the play.
Yes, he did. Beautiful read.
1 out.
That ball was not hit hard at all, and he came flying in.
It's not an easy park to hit, and I would imagine with the size of it, it's not an easy place to play outfield in either.
It's not, but it was, it's smaller than it used to be.
Which is hard to believe, isn't it?
Yes, it was big. Now, right center and stuff, you can get it, but a while back, man, you had to really hit one out there to get it out of here.
Yeah, you can see in right center field, right above the wall, the fake ivy. The original dimensions.
Yeah,
took it into the seats.
You can see the little section there where the ivy now comes out. That was a poke.
And then out in straightaway center, they have the quirky Bermuda Triangle area with the curved wall and all the crazy caroms that would create. So they've tried to make it more hitter friendly. And tonight it has been for Brian De La Cruz, who has the game's lone home run. That was a 2-run shot 1 inning ago.
Well, I remember when they built this, and I hadn't even been here yet. I said, whatever it is, it's going to beat having a get rained out of BP at 4:30, then come out at the game at 7, and it was just, smoking hot. That old Pro Player Stadium.
In this part of the world, you have to have a dome facility. There were so many times the Braves would come down. They'd have so much rain they'd run out of Diamond Dry. Payoff pitch is a little low. A 1-out walk turns us back to the top of the order. That is Elder's first free pass of the game. He's not had an easy time of it. 1-1-2-3 inning for Bryce. That came in the second. Again, with the uncertain nature of the Braves' pitching plans for tomorrow, need Bryce to soak up as many innings tonight as he possibly can for the Braves. He's in the fourth with 75 pitches. Here's John Birdie. He has singled, stolen a base, and scored. Good pitch, strike one. There's that breaking ball Kelly was talking about. One of his best of the night. It's 0-2.
And you can see that kind of caught Birdie off guard a little bit. Could see him hang his head, thought he was going to get a sinker.
Elder ready to make his 80th pitch.
I think this is a scenario where if Bryce was really had his pinpoint control, you'd look for something, that two-seamer maybe backdoor right here to try to freeze him, but thing's been running a whole bunch back over the plate.
And Birdie making him work. That's 3 straight foul balls for the Marlins second baseman. Uh-oh. Will it make it? You got it.
Come on, bud. There you
Yes.
go. Wrong jersey. Got a Yankees jersey.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And time called. On the ground should be 2. There's 1. And Arcia with a cannon erases Birdie. That takes care of Miami in the 4th inning. Lower third coming up for the Braves. We're in the 5th inning already. It's 4-0 Miami. Either be Friday as a wild card or more likely as a division winner beginning next Tuesday. And after every Braves playoff game, join us for Braves Live postseason edition. Nick Green, Brian Jordan, and Peter Moylan will join me out at the Battery Atlanta on Bally Sports. As long as the Braves are alive in postseason, we'll bring you expert analysis after each and every postseason game. Check it out on Bally Sports South, Bally Sports Southeast channels, and of course the Bally Sports app. Again, the magic number for Atlanta is 1. Any combination of Braves wins and Met losses that adds up to 1 means Atlanta wins the East. On the ground to third. That ball dropped by Wendell. Catcher running. Loads up and gets his man for out number 1.
Frustrating night to this point. When the Braves have made contact, they've been atom balls. They haven't made an awful lot of it, though. They've struck out 8 times in the first 4 1/3 innings.
And it started off with what, first and second, no outs in the first, and you thought, here we go.
Again, I'm making no excuses, but this is a tough environment to play. When you figure 24 hours ago, we're playing before 42,000 in our home ballpark. Got to make your own intensity in a game like this.
Yeah, and you get down here at, what, 3:30 in the morning?
Yep. A very quiet crowd with the Marlins up 4. The pitch. 1-2 for Orlando Arcia. Luzardo's got A+ stuff tonight. Braves are trying to win their 9th straight game over the Marlins. In fact, Atlanta has been dominant here in Miami. In the history of Lone Depot Park, which used to be Marlins Park, Atlanta's gone 63-30 here.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
2-2 pitch.
And that was even, you know, in some of those years in 14, 15, 16, the Marlins, they were pretty good. You know, they were in the thing, and the Braves were rebuilding, and yet still the record is where it's at.
Make this guy work. Get into that bullpen the way he's going. 5th inning, 1 out. And it's 3-2. You mentioned he's effectively wild. I think you're exactly right. You can't zero in on a spot, and you can't zero in on any pitch yet.
No. And he's got 97. You got to respect it.
Lined into left center field. That'll get something started. Arcia is going to have an extra base hit.
There you go. We got a hanger on that pitch. Worked it to 3-2. That's the thing. Luzardo getting ready to throw his 80th pitch, Chip. That one just found too much of the zone. But you can get a couple back here and force that pitch count close to 100 and then go to work on that bullpen.
Orlando has a double. He's at second for Robbie Grossman, who singled his first trip. And remarkable work by Grossman. Didn't have it at bat in that Mets series. Gets a start tonight and ropes one to left to start his night. Braves are looking for their first hit, of course, with a runner in scoring position. Tonight they're 0 for 3. Those at bats came in the first inning. It would be somewhat fitting if the Braves tonight came back in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings and won this game. Sort of be a microcosm of the season race in the Eastern Division. Mike Puma, a great columnist in New York, had a great story today where he talked about in Atlanta you have the race with the freeze where a fan gets a big head start and then the freeze comes running up and in a blur wins at the tape. That's kind of the way the Eastern race has gone for Atlanta. Braves finally have the divisional lead. Roped into center. But that's going to be caught. Arcia is going to tag. Here comes the throw. It's going to be off target. And Robbie Grossman advances the runner. But that cost the Braves their second out. And Acuna's coming up. He's 0 for 2.
Yeah, bad luck there. That ball could have sliced a little bit more, found a gap. Robbie hit it pretty good. See if Ronald can break this thing open and get the Braves on the board. Yeah, I would imagine reading some of those articles in the New York papers would have to be pretty interesting this morning.
They're not happy in Mets land. That's how we like it in Braves country. Runner at third with 2 outs. And it's understandable.
The Braves have been in first place for a total of 6 days. And the last 2 nights were the only days Brian Snitker's team were by themselves atop the divisional pile. What do we say at the start of the show? Not how you start, but how you finish. That's exactly what the Braves have done, winning 77 games since June the 1st.
Yeah, sole possession for days. Mets 170 days, Braves 3. That's why you play 162, right?
A base hit gets you on the board here. A wild pitch gets you on the board, perhaps. Is that one low? 2 balls and a strike.
If you're RC at third, you got to get a good secondary lead here because Luzardo can sure spike one here.
Two and two. Luzardo ready, so is Ronald. And popped up. That is headed out of play, foul. Power versus power here, the pitch. It's not to be. Acuna swings and misses, and Luzardo pitches out of a 5th inning jam. He holds a 4-0 lead.
For next season, as a full 2023 member, you get all the benefits for next year's season and have priority access to all of this year's postseason home games. See more information on full season memberships and how you can get access to 2022 playoff games by going to Braves.com/A-list. Home 5th. It's 4-0 Miami. The Marlins will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. It starts with Joey Wendell, who singled on an 0-2 pitch in the 3rd inning and came home on Brian De La Cruz's 2-run homer. You know what we need? Just came to me.
Cocktail?
Well, it's an excellent idea. 2-2 pitch.
Rally cocktail.
Yeah, that's what it takes. No, you know what we need?
What?
The mystical, magical waters.
The Miccosukee Canal.
I don't think anybody sprinkled them on the bats before the game.
Maybe get Kelly to run out there and get some river water.
Let's go. He's been out hit 6-3 tonight. As Wendell battling here in the home 5th. And another one headed for the upper deck out of play. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up in the 6th inning. You want to get Elder through this one and keep it at 4. And then it's a 4-inning shootout with that group coming up. How about that swing? Nicely done. 1 away. Elder has his 4th strikeout. And Brian De La Cruz, the hitter. First, a word from our friends at Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
De La Cruz is 2 for 2. He's scored twice. He's knocked in 3. His home run just out of reach of Michael Harris, who made a great try. Ball hit right on top of the fence.
It did. He had to go a long ways from where he was shaded.
Did that influence the timing of his jump?
Yeah, I mean, because he had to go so far, you know, to get to the fence. It's a tough play.
On the ground, Dansby's got it. Top spin roller. Long throw. Long strides, but De La Cruz retired for the first time. 2 quick outs. That's a good start for Bryce Elder. And here's Avisail Garcia. He's 0 for 2. Well, Kim Ng is the general manager here in Miami. She's got her work cut out for her. She's going to have to find a new manager next year. She's got to find some offense to support guys like Luzardo and Sandy Alcantara, who's the likely frontrunner for the Cy Young Award. One break the Braves have is that Don Mattingly has shut him down. He's not going to face the Braves in this series. His turn would have been game 162. So Alcantara with his 6 complete games. We'll see if he gets the postseason hardware as the best pitcher in the National League. Anytime you don't face him, that is a good day.
Yeah, and look, you know, Don Mattingly deserves the right to do that with him. He's taking the ball every 5 days all year long. And his last start, to talk about ending on a good note, through 7 great innings. I'm sorry, I think 8 innings up in Milwaukee.
So break for the Braves. We won't face Sandy Alcantara in this series. As Garcia tied up. That missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. Kim Ng was hoping this man and Jorge Soler would give the Marlins some thump in the middle of the lineup. That hasn't happened for myriad reasons. They've also lost Jazz Chisholm, which is a big loss for this team. How good Jazz is and how exciting a player he is up the middle for the Marlins. So they've got some pieces in place, but they need a few more if they're to pass the Braves, the Phillies, or the Mets.
That's why that's a tough division they're in, too.
Elder missed inside. It's a full count. Speaking of the Phillies, you see on the Valley Bar, they're finishing up their season on the road in Houston. That's a tough draw for the Phillies, but they're up 1-0. Phillies are trying to hold off Milwaukee for a playoff spot. And strike 3. Garcia couldn't pull the trigger. And Elder has his 5th strikeout in as many innings. 4 innings left in Miami. It's a 4-run Marlins game. Dansby Swanson, Michael Harris, and Austin Riley are coming up. Let's check out our T-Mobile coverage cam. Tonight it's Dansby Swanson, Jeff. When the Braves needed him most, he came up huge in the 3-game sweep of the New York Mets.
Well, he took all 3 guys. DeGrom Friday night, Scherzer Saturday night, and then last night, Bassett right off the bat. What a series. Take all 3 of those guys deep.
And that's how you start against Luzardo. That's going to split the gap and roll to the wall. Dansby ambushes.
And he's got a leadoff double for Atlanta in the 6th inning. 2 more hits for Dansby Swanson. And here we go. Got to get something going now. It's gotten late early in South Florida.
Now, beautiful piece of hit. Got ready for that first pitch. And just drives it to right center.
32 doubles.
And when that ball hits that turf right there, it's gone.
Let's see if Michael can advance the runner. He's walked, he's struck out. Tries to bunt, and that's rolled foul. Not a bad idea. Strike one. Haven't seen Michael do a lot of bunting. In fact, the Braves aren't really built to bunt. They do not have a sacrifice bunt this year. That's never been done in a 162 game season. He won't be sacrificing here, you wouldn't think, but let's see what happens with one strike. A foul.
Say this, when you win 100 games and you get the second most home runs in baseball.
Yeah, it's
you
not
see why. No, but it is weird that
yeah, you think
one time somebody in a situation, but just not the way the Braves are built.
Michael's got some hard work here. It's 0-2. It's 0-3. Boys chase that pitch twice tonight. And Luzardo has double digits in strikeouts, one away. That's a tough draw for Harris. And Austin Riley, he has struck out twice. Good opposite field approach by Swanson to start the inning with a double. Braves have gotten 3 men to second base in tonight's game. Haven't advanced any of them yet. And into the dugout foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just joining us, the Mets and Nationals were rained out today. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. The Marlins got 2 in the first, 2 in the third against Bryce Elder. We are in the 6th. It's 4-0. And action has begun at last in the Marlins bullpen. As Luzardo at 95 pitches. Cue shot foul, 2-2.
I would think Luzardo has probably got 2 more batters, with Olson being that lefty. And if we can turn it over to d'Arnaud, you might see the righty come in.
Jeff Brigham is that man warming up. Shift on for Riley. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Austin swings and misses. He's got the hat trick. So Matt Olson, the final hope for Atlanta. He too has had trouble making contact. He didn't have trouble doing that though against New York. Let's check out the metrics.
Yeah, let's look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Both guys homering in all 3 games. Dansby 2 to left center, 1 to right center, and Matt 3 to right center.
Well, the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Braves have been so good. 9 trips to the plate. They have struck out 7 times so far. Luzardo has done his best work against this trio. And he's 1 pitch away from equaling his career high in strikeouts.
Well, he's 1 pitch away from giving up a leadoff double and then striking out 3, 4, 5 in this lineup. See if Matt can find something up in the zone and get one to the outfield and try to score him.
He just struck out the side after the leadoff double. A dozen strikeouts for Jesus Luzardo through 6 scoreless innings in game 1. Well, fans, if the postseason started today, here is your big league baseball playoff picture. The importance of winning the division is apparent. As you see, if the Braves win the East, they will face the winner of the Padres and Cardinals in the wild card round. The best of 5 would start on October the 11th at Truist Park. And we will continue to cut to the chase as the Braves push toward their 5th consecutive division title. We'll have the final 2 games of this series with you from South Florida. Our Cut to the Chase programming brought to you by our friends at
Texas Pete sauce like you mean it. Tyler Matzik will follow Bryce Elder, who went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, and 5 strikeouts. Matzik has the middle of the Miami order coming up, starting with lefty Jesus Sanchez. And he's greeted with a first pitch hit to center. Harris over quickly to his right. And Sanchez with a single gets things started in the Miami 6th. He's 3 for 3.
Great job by Harris getting over to cut off that ball. The thing hits that turf and just skips.
Marlins made the move to go to the artificial turf here a couple of years ago. As you can imagine, trying to grow natural grass with a dome is difficult. It's expensive. Just the water bill alone was upwards of $1 million a year, we're told, and the grass maintenance and the like.
That's what I was going to say. It was just tough keeping it up, too.
Sharply hit right to Riley. Nick Fortes with another missile. Riley in the right place at the right time for out number 1.
Braves bullpen has been a very, very bright spot in the month of September. I don't think those guys have gotten enough credit, Jeff. 1 run allowed to the Mets in the 3-game series. And the September bullpen ERA 170. And so far in October, they've now thrown 9 innings of 4-hit shutout ball with 9 strikeouts.
You know, that was a huge part of what the Braves have done for this push, is that bullpen has been outstanding.
Leday didn't get it. A check swing strike. So, Kelly, this really is amazing work for Rick Kranitz's relief corps, especially when you consider the pressure of the moment and the number of innings they've logged getting up to these final few days of the season.
Just in asking him what he was most proud of over the last 3 days, he goes, they stepped up. We try to protect the pen as much as we can, knowing that when the time comes, you need them. And that time came, and he mentioned Kenley, 4 out of 5, Iglesias, 3 out of 4, 3 in a row. I think it was 4 out of 5, excuse me, for him as well, but 3 in a row for both of them. And he goes, you know, we don't normally do that, but we managed that exactly like we would have a playoff series in all 3 games. And then, of course, guys, now, you know, they're trying to get that final win here in this series.
1 ball, 1 strike for J.J. Bleday. This one lifted high in the air toward left. That's a rafter scraper. But Robbie Grossman's there and puts that away for the 2nd out. These are also really important outs to get, too, because even though these guys have shown their stripes and shown their colors all year long, there are auditions for the playoffs. You got to make huge roster decisions coming up, we hope, in the next several days.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. There's always a guy or two, you know, with postseason that you know, Chip just doesn't make it. He might be here the whole year, but doesn't fit necessarily. Sometimes different for a 5-game series compared to a 7, but agreed. You know, you knew coming into tonight you're going to have some other bullpen guys step up no matter what because of the usage of these guys in the Mets series.
Miguel Rojas, the hitter. That one bounces in front of Contreras. Nice job. The other part of that is sometimes it's not even how well you pitch or how poorly you pitch. It might just be how the other team you're facing's roster is constructed. You just may not be a good fit for that round of postseason play. So all of those decisions being pondered by Snit, Rick Kranitz, and Alex Anthopoulos as the Braves and Marlins start the final regular season series tonight. Miami leads at 4-0. Matzik's gone 3-0 to Miguel Rojas. Left-hand hitting Lewin Diaz waits on deck. He's the 9th place hitter. And 4 pitches. a 2-out walk. 2 on. Diaz, the hitter, he has struck out, and he has walked as well. So here's what I was talking about, Jeff. Look at what the relief corps has done since September 1.
Well, and when you're late in the season like this, to be able to have that to go to, give the starters some breaks sometimes, maybe not stretch them out another inning. This is why you can do that. This is why the Braves, honestly, ran the table last year in the World Series. Because that bullpen, when the Braves got leads, they held them.
Got to get this guy. There's a good start. Swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Good news is for Atlanta, Luzardo appears to be out of the game after 6 innings. We've got 9 outs left to get 4 runs. Popped up. Matt Olson foul ground to the middle of the warning track near the netting, and it comes back to him in foul ground, and that'll retire the side. 4-0 Miami. We're through 6.
Trevor, thank you very much. Albert Pujols has got over 20 home runs this year.
Unbelievable.
And he's led the Cardinals into the playoffs as the Central Division champs. That's how the playoff picture looks at this point.
Yeah, we had the Padres that switched with the Phillies,
Right.
so that's why it's important to win this division because, look, no playoffs or playoff series is easy. Braves match up pretty darn well with Phillies and St. Louis, and let those other 3 down there beat up on each other, and you meet them in the NLCS.
We're waiting to start the inning, and Manny Gonzalez looks back and asks him to turn the music off. That's always helpful as Jeff Brigham takes over for Jesus Luzardo, who struck out 12 and 6 shutout innings. 9 outs left. We're down 4. And a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Yeah, that playoff picture. Look, Braves in control of their destiny. You win the East. You match up with either the Cardinals or Phillies. Then you become big Mets fans. Maybe you see the Mets take out the Dodgers if they advance.
Oh, you meet them again and beat them for the 2nd straight year.
I like it either way. Another strike from Jeff Brigham. Last 3 appearances have been scoreless. 2 hits over his last 3 innings. A couple of walks. And 13 strikeouts against the Braves in 7 games. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Jeff Brigham. Fastball slider guy. He's ahead of the Atlanta DH. Shot right to first. And Lewin Diaz, right place at the wrong time for Travis. 1 man down.
And before we get to Contreras, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal, always.
William Contreras is 0 for 2. One ball, no strikes. Base is empty. 1 out. 7th inning. And as always, as we approach
The middle of the 7th inning. We invite you to stick around for the stretch. Our friends at Georgia Natural Gas will present that. Michael Harris and his Rookie of the Month honors in September will be the subject matter. As that's outside, ball 2. Hey, look, all help's appreciated. Need base runners. Braves have just 4 hits in this game.
Oh.
Somebody's barking in the Braves dugout.
It's Travis d'Arnaud.
You can see why.
Yeah. It's a big difference. 3-1, 2-2 on that pitch.
Full count. Arcia waits next. He's got a double tonight. 2 doubles, 2 singles for the Braves. Breaking ball throws him over the inside corner, and that is out number 2. Braves are having a tough time making contact here in game 1. 2 outs, and Orlando Arcia, your batter. Arcia with a 1-out double in the 5th inning. Pops this one up into the bat. Birdie drifts out. Garcia calls him off. And Avisail makes the play, and the Braves are retired in order. Time to send you to the stretch, where sadly the Marlins lead 4-0. Not dead yet. 4-0. Miami has the lead. Top of the order coming up for them. Third pitcher of the night will be veteran right-hander Jesse Chavez. He'll face Bertie, Wendell, and Brian De La Cruz, whose 2-run homer has made things a little tougher than we'd like here in game 1. Jesse's been great. Started with the Cubs, came to Atlanta, went to the Angels, came back to the Braves, and all he's done is dazzle. Strike after strike after strike. Kind of like Jeff, a modern-day Peter Moylan.
Right? Just pound the zone.
So John Bertie greets him. He has singled, scored, struck out, and he's hit into a double play. And Bertie with 40 stolen bases. That leads the big leagues. A Marlins players led the big leagues in stolen bases 6 times. Bertie trying to be the 7th. And Jesse gets ahead quickly, 0-2. I love watching this guy pitch.
I love watching hitters walk back to the dugout wondering how they missed it.
Poke foul and out of play. It's still 0-2. Braves look like they need a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you hope they can come back. 6 outs left, but yeah, I mean, look, that was like you said, emotional 3-game series. And I agree. I think one of the tough things too is, you're not making fun of a place for doing whatever, but you play in front of 42,000 for 3 nights going nuts, and you come down here and it's just not the same.
Up the middle, Arcia behind the bag, jump throw, and Birdie with his good speed beats the wrap. He's got an infield hit. That's one big problem I have with the Sunday night game this time of year. As you said, Jeff, so much emotion, so much energy is expended in a game like that, and it's affecting the Mets too. But your players aren't put in the best possible position to succeed when they get to the next town and have to play the next day at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's never good.
Unfortunately, they don't think about that.
No, but I wish they would.
Don't we all?
Yeah. And so for the Mets, they have an advantage today in that for tonight, they're rained out. The disadvantage for the Mets is no matter whom you play, it's difficult to sweep a doubleheader. And that's what they'll have tomorrow, weather permitting. There's no margin for error for New York. If they lose a game, the division race is over. If the Braves win a game here in Miami, the division race is over. Scalded to second. Should be 2. Low throw, but Dansby recovers. Nicely done. And Joey Wendell is doubled up. 2 away. And is Dansby good around that bag?
So smooth. Perfect double play ball. Even that, though, he's able to have plenty of time to get it, throw a strike to Matt.
De La Cruz complaining. He's got a 3 RBI night. On the ground, deep short. Dansby can't get that. So a 3-hit game for De La Cruz. Sanchez has 3 hits as well. And the inning continues. Avisayo Garcia coming up. But first, a word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with tongue torch, Zax sauce, or any of our sauces.
Garcia struck out in his last 2 trips to the plate. Braves will have their 9-1-2 hitters coming up. It is still a manageable game, but we're running out of wiggle room. Down 4.
Yeah, you kind of hope to get this out and you get some action next inning with 9-1-2.
Savino Bracho is up and throwing in the Braves bullpen. Pretty good pitch. And Contreras double clutches. I think he and Chavez thought that should have been a strike.
Well, the curveball that got called on him, Chip, was about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches lower than that one.
A cutter cut on and tipped. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Elder Matzik and Jesse Chavez, the Braves pitchers in game 1. And that one wide, full count. De La Cruz will get a head start on a 3-2 pitch. On a go. Strike 3 right down Biscayne Boulevard. And that'll send us to the 8th inning. Time for the Braves bats to wake up. It's late. It's 4-0 Miami.
to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
All right, time for a rally, Braves country. Get your rally caps on. It's 4-0. The Braves have 9-1-2 coming up in the eighth inning, and they take aim at a youngster they've never seen before. This is young Brian Hoeing, and the ERA is what gives you some hope. In his big league debut at Dodger Stadium, 3 innings, 7 runs, and 2 homers. Get a couple base runners, things could get loud and get interesting here in Game 1.
Yeah, see what happens.
That's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hoeing started the year at Double-A. Started 3 games at Triple-A with a 6.43 ERA. Now he's facing the world champs. On the ground into the shift. The shortstop, Rojas, with the peg to first. So back to the top. Here's Ronald. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Braves had a great chance to set the tone for this game in the first inning. 2 on, nobody out. But couldn't push across the game's first run. They had a leadoff double in the 6th. 3 strikeouts took them out of that inning. Braves have 4 hits, need a few more. That one's golfed past Wash. And then strike 1 for the Braves right fielder. Braves haven't announced their starter for Game 2 tomorrow. Braxton Garrett, another left-hander, will pitch for the Marlins. Braves Live will get our coverage started tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. One of the reasons the Braves have done such good work against Miami, Jeff mentioned it earlier in the game, that has been an excellent comeback team. Don Mattingly knows that. So a bit of a wild card here with a youngster, Brian Hoeing, whom we've never seen.
That's why you just get a couple guys on. You can really put a little pressure on them possibly. Already 3 straight balls. Now we're close to Ronald to get it back to 3-2.
Be selective here, Ronald. Swanson waits next. He's had a 2-hit night. And on the ground toward third. Wendell's got that. And his throw high, and Ronald jogging down the line at first is the second out. So Dansby, the final hope in the Atlanta 8th. He's had a great night. He's singled, he's doubled, and he's part of our Coors Light Beating the Pressure feature. That's exactly what the Braves have done against the Marlins relief staff.
Yeah, look at that. 7th inning or later, 20 extra base hits for this offense. So we know they can put runs up in a hurry on you, but running out of outs here. So hopefully Dansby can get on and see what happens.
He's the last man to reach base for the Braves. That was that leadoff double in the 6th inning. Tip your cap to Jesus Luzardo. His swan song for the season was really impressive. Struck out 12 Braves in 6 innings. Bryce Elder gave up 4 runs in 5, and that's all Miami has needed to this point. Another pitch low.
Yeah, it's not a strike.
Nope. Not only was it low, I'm sure Dansby's saying the movement by the catcher can't get rewarded for missing your spot like that.
Not that much.
Instead of 2-0, it's an even count. On the ground, third. Fair ball. Long throw. And the stretch at first is in time. And that takes care of the Braves in inning number 8. Marlins 4, Atlanta nothing in game 1. Braves fans under the age of 14, the regular season may be coming to an end, but the fun doesn't stop there. Kids Club members get monthly emails with exclusive content and Battery Atlanta retail offers during the postseason and the offseason. It's a great way to stay engaged with your favorite team. Join the Braves Kids Club by going to braves.com/kids. There are a lot of Braves fans here in attendance tonight. Figure that'll be the case tomorrow and Wednesday as well. As we head to the home 8th, Silvino Bracho is on to pitch.
You can see that career with 5 seasons. 93 games.
Braves got Silvino from the Red Sox on June the 30th. He's from Maracaibo, Venezuela. Made 4 starts and 20 appearances for Gwinnett, where he pitched well. And the first pitch to Sanchez popped up foul. And that is out of play. Look, in games like this where it's a struggle, and we've mentioned some of the reasons why. First and foremost, you credit the Marlins. But in games like this, you try to make lemonade out of lemons. One of the things that will help the Braves is you got some rest for your bullpen.
Yeah. Look, you got three games to do it. You'd have loved to have done it tonight, and you still have 3 more outs to do it. But with, like they said, look, that whole bullpen was used heavy, especially on Saturday and Sunday.
So any hints or any thoughts as to what you think the Braves will do to get the game started tomorrow, Jeff? They haven't announced one in the press notes here tonight. Line down the left field line. That's going to be foul again.
Yeah.
Hey, great catch. How about that grab?
Wow.
First baseman. Love it.
Just a thought, and I don't know they're going to do it, but you could, Max Fried only threw 5 innings. You could say, hey, give me 4 or 5, and then you got a well-rested bullpen.
No balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Sanchez went to a knee. He's out for the first time, a 3 for 4 night. I guess the gamble with that is twofold. 1, Max's turn would be Wednesday. 2, he left that game because of illness. I don't know if you know how much he's got in the tank. One would assume he's 100%. But all those decisions will be made after the game by Brian Snitker, Rick Kranitz, and Alex Anthopoulos and the staff. And I'm sure Kelly will update us on that when we get you to Braves Live here from Miami. Nick Fortes.
I think like anything, when you're thinking from a standpoint of if you're the Braves, you got to go with, if you can't come back tonight, you got 2 games, you got to win 1.
Right.
So, what gives you the best opportunity? You can't count on the Mets losing a ball game. If it happens, great.
Well, that's the beauty of having fate in your own hands. If you don't have to worry about what the Mets do. If you win, that one line toward Robbie and left. He's got that. 2 outs. So 2 quick outs. J.J. Bleday, the final hope. A quick word first from our friends with Yamaha Boats.
There's an explorer in all of us. That's why you should go with the one name trusted to make the most out of every second you spend on the water.
Bleday is 0 for 3. And takes a strike. Well, more shutout work by the Braves bullpen to this point. 2 2/3 innings of 3-hit ball. They're trying to hold them where the Marlins are and give the Braves one last crack at it in the 9th inning. They'll have the 3, 4, 5 hitters due. Harris, Riley, and Matt Olson. That trio's had a tough night. Silvino Bracho is the third Braves reliever tonight. Boy, it's kitchen sink, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Richard Blyers warming up for the Marlins. Looks like he'll come on for the top of the ninth. And a full count for Bleday. Base is empty for left fielder J.J. Bleday. Another one hit a mile high center of the diamond. And Dansby gathers that in. And the Braves are down to their last 3 outs. They need 4 to tie, 5 to take the lead after 8 in South Florida.
Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
4-0 Miami after 8 here in South Florida. And as you know, fans, Hurricane Ian has ravaged our neighbors in Florida and impacted other states along the lower Atlantic coast. And the Red Cross is there to provide shelter, food, comfort, and support. To donate, scan the QR code or visit redcross.org or text Ian to 90999 for a $10 donation. And our friends in Florida and the Red Cross thanks you for your support.
Well, if we get a runner on, and the third Blyer can balk a few times.
Yeah, that's right. Somewhere Bob Davidson was opening champagne.
Yeah, don't call me balking Bob anymore.
Yeah, that was against the Mets.
I called for 3 balks.
Harris skies one toward left center. That'll curl out toward Bleday, and that's the first out in the Atlanta ninth. Michael's night ends 0 for 3. And here's Austin Riley. In the 3, 4, 5 of the order, so productive, so great all year for the Braves. They've had a tough night tonight. Let's see if Riley can get some mojo working for Game 2 here tomorrow night. Again, our coverage starts at 6 here on our Bally family of networks with Braves Live. Marlins got Blyer from Baltimore. He's had a nice season in relief. And on the ground, chopped out of play foul. 0-2. Austin Riley has struck out 4 times tonight. That to me is an indicator that he needs some shut-eye tonight.
I think a lot of these guys could use. Look, they battled their tails off this weekend, Chip. You said, what, y'all got at 3:30 in the morning?
So Matt Olson is the final hope for Atlanta in the ninth. 4-0. Marlins have the lead.
And in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. And trying to keep his 7-game hitting streak alive here. And that one shot toward right. Garcia on the run, has it. And the Marlins have shut out the Braves in Game 1. Jeff, our Eastern clinching celebration has to wait at least another day as Don Mattingly's club takes Game 1 of the series.
Well, I think you just said it best. This team could get back to the hotel tonight, get some sleep, and you come out here tomorrow night, you get to face a lefty. He's not going to look like Luzardo after what you saw tonight. And you know what? Put it away tomorrow.
So the Braves' 8-game winning streak against the Marlins comes to an end. We'll try to start another one tomorrow night. Luzardo was terrific. Tip your cap to him. He beats Bryce Elder. And Miami shuts out Atlanta in Game 1 of this series down at Lone Depot Park. Your final 4-0. Hopefully better tidings tomorrow for Game 2 of this series. Brian Snitker on Braves Live will tell us who that starter will be in just a few moments. The Marlins will counter with another young left-hander. It's Braxton Garrett, who will get the ball as our coverage starts at 6 o'clock Eastern Time with Braves Live. So for Kelly Cole and Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey, thank you for joining us. Game 2 comes your way tomorrow. Braves Live presented by Xfinity comes your way tonight, and it's next.